Entara Tessadar, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kyalaris, and welcome back to another one of my casts. I had a look around YouTube, and I was ridiculously surprised to see that this game wasn't cast at all by anyone, so I'm very annoyed at that, and just for that I'm casting it because I believe this game to be pretty damn epic, and it is between two of my favourite players, one of them being DeMuSLiM, and he is one of my favourite players because he's from England, although he doesn't live in England. He defected to Germany because he's a traitor. And we all know how the English feel about the Germans. No, I'm joking. Let's not get into that. And this will be against Sus Reza Nani, who I believe is Naniwa, a very, very famous Protoss player. So we're going to be getting right into this, and trust me, stick with this game. It's pretty damn epic. No one's cast it, and I can't believe no one's cast it. It's pretty old. I believe it's like how old is it? It's probably about 3 or 4 weeks old, but you know, it was pre-patch 1.1. But yeah, it's epic. So stick with it, and let's have a see what goes on here. So we do see now a barracks in production for DeMuSLiM, and it seems that I don't have the bars showing me on my production tab when things are going to be finished or not. It doesn't matter. We will deal through it anyway, and as you can see, Naniwa just throwing down his first gateway here, not doing any kind of wall off or anything like that, because these buildings can be sniped off by siege tanks and Vikings if the Terran so chooses so. So we do see now this probe of Naniwa's being extremely annoying in the base of DeMuSLiM, and I'm going to guarantee that by the end of this game I'm going to have terrible trouble pronouncing everyone's names and get tongue twisted, and it's going to be horrible. So just ignore that for now. We do see an orbital command coming out for DeMuSLiM, and a nice pylon placement for Naniwa in order to be able to hide any kind of tech he does put down. He is putting his cybernetics core down here. Just personal preference, I suppose, as to where you put that. He does have his first gas up, as does DeMuSLiM. So just putting some extra supply depots down to make sure that he doesn't get locked. Very, very important for any player playing StarCraft. I was going to say Star Wars then. For any player playing Star Wars, don't get locked. No, that's probably not the best thing. I do like this placement of buildings here, though, pretty much preventing kind of any kind of like hassle going on in the mineral line for that entrance from the minerals. And we do see now Naniwa just scouting this base as well, just to make sure nothing's going on. Is he scouting it? He's putting a pylon down here. This is an interesting placement of a pylon. We do see concussive shells going up for DeMuSLiM, but I'm really wanting to know what's going on with this pylon. I'm going to stick around. Actually, we'll come back to it when it's finished. Do see a few more orders now being pumped out for DeMuSLiM, and he is scouting up to this top base as well to see what's going on. Nice rally point there, checking if anything's going on as because Protoss do enjoy like putting proxy stargates there, etc., in order to be able to just fly over. So nice scouting from DeMuSLiM there. And we do see now this probe is putting down a Twilight Council in this position. I can only imagine that the only reason he was putting a Twilight Council there is so he can put like a Dark Shrine, or why would you want to hide a Templar Archives? I don't see why. It must be a Dark Shrine going to be going up at some point for Naniwa. We will see how that progresses. He does have 2 gateways out now, and is just pumping out the units in order to make sure that he can fend off any early aggression. And it does look like DeMuSLiM is going to be coming along with some early aggression, as well as a Reaper coming out. It's going to be interesting. I think he's going to be wanting to use that to spot the high ground if this ramp does get force fielded by Naniwa. And so this Templar Twilight Council is finished, and we do see Stimpack being researched for DeMuSLiM, as well as warp gates for Naniwa, and I want to see what's going on down here. Come on, what are you doing, you tricky probe? You tricky probe. Anyway, we do see this probe being fended off here by this little force, and this Reaper is coming along to support these units. Nice, actually, it's a really good use of Reapers, just scouting the high ground so that your units can fire up as a Terran player. And we're going to see what happens here. He has a nice force in order to be able to fend this off, and if he does catch these units off guard with these force fields, it's going to be crucial. But that Reaper there getting the high ground and taking out that Zealot almost, and there the force field pinces in these units, and that's going to be pretty much the end of their lives, as that force field was nicely placed by Naniwa. Indeed. Naniwa still controlling this tower, making sure that he can see everything that DeMuSLiM is moving out with, and we do see a Dark Shrine, yes! So hopefully we're going to be seeing quite a lot of DT action, which will be interesting to say the least. And making DTs, a lot of people think that DTs are a big waste against Terran because they can just scan and instantly cancel that out. But if you can make DTs effective enough to the point where the Terran player has to scan a hell of a lot, then he's wasting, every time he scans, he's effectively wasting 300 minerals, which is huge! I cannot get over emphasizing how big that is to a Terran player. So throw the DTs in there, you know, give it a go and make him scan, because he is going to hate you eventually for scanning. And we do see 2 DTs warping in now, as well as combat shields coming out for DeMuSLiM. So these DTs hopefully going to be making their way into the base of DeMuSLiM and wreaking havoc, because I love DTs, they're fantastic. This SCV just scouting this Selnaga watchtower now, and we do see a factory going down for DeMuSLiM, as well as a robotics bay going down for Naniwa, and Nexus going down for Naniwa as well. Hopefully now this DT will be able to wreak some havoc in this mineral line. He's taking out that probe, taking the engineering bay, effectively stopping some of the tech. All these units coming here now, and the scan does go down and shreds those DTs. It would have been nice to see those 2 DTs kind of split up or sent in at different times, so one scan didn't kill them. He would have had to scan twice to have killed them. A lot of energy gathering up on this Nexus. I'm not liking that. He could be chrono boosting these gates in order to get a few more units out quickly. And just a nice little ground force coming out here, but at this point the ground force of DeMuSLiM is quite scary in comparison to this ball. So DeMuSLiM would not have too hard a time pushing out with this ball and absolutely mashing, although he did stim for those DTs. Oh my god, that's really kind of bad from DeMuSLiM. He didn't need to stim, and currently he has nothing to heal up those units. So they would have died regardless, but yeah. Anyway, we do see Zealot Charge now coming out for Naniwa, as well as Weapons Level 1 coming out for DeMuSLiM. Starport now going up for DeMuSLiM, no doubt to heal these frigging units that he demolished, although nice building placement to stop any kind of harass getting in there. All very compact and neat, and I imagine he'll be using this factory for scouting, no doubt, since he does look like he's sticking with a more infantry-based Medivac build, or Raven, and he has Psylocked. No, he's not Psylocked. I was for a moment. He did do a supply drop on that supply depot there. So now this factory going to be floating in, this probe going to be able to see it, and these buildings now not doing too much. And we do see a warp prism now coming out for Naniwa, which is going to be very fun. We love seeing warp prisms, and a Templar archive, so hopefully going to see some high Templar action as Psionic Storm is in production right now. This factory has been spotted by this probe, so he's like, whoa, that's a big frigging factory, and that's going to be scouting, I imagine. Or he could actually land on this high ground and then produce whatever he wants to produce, really. Probably siege tanks, that's the most likely thing that people do produce. And now throwing a scan down here to make sure that nothing can pick off this factory, as well as just seeing what's going on, really. Although that being said, if he did want to see what was going on, he could have just used the factory to scout, and he is doing. But now, after that scan has gone down, he's seen that he doesn't have many units, and he is going to be moving into this base. However, this warp prism is going to be moving into a position where he can warp in some units here. Although these units getting ready, seemingly, for this warp prism action. So, oh no, they're going back. No, I'm not sure. Anyway, this probe now being picked off, and this Raven going to be very useful against this one Stalker. Oh, that's not as effective as he would have liked. Anyway, now warping in a few units up here with this warp prism anytime soon, maybe. This warp prism being picked off by these units, going to be picked off, and we do see some action going on down here. Big storm going down on all those units, taking them very low. And now Zealot Charge getting in on the action. Feedback on that Raven, fantastic feedback there. And hopefully he should have. He doesn't have enough for another storm. These units are just going to be kited. All these units are very low. One storm could pretty much end this entire attack, as it did before, in fact. So very interesting to see what is going on there. We do see now the command center is done for DeMuSLiM, and we do see Kaidarian Amulet and Mobius Reactor coming down for both players. We see this factory has indeed landed, and I imagine he's going to be. He has put a tech lab on that, so he's going to probably be getting some siege tanks at some point, as well as siege mode. but for now it is just a bit stationary. These medivacs coming along to heal these units, and going to be continuing the relentless assault eventually. But with all these high Templars, going to have enough storm eventually for the storms. We do have a few here for the storms ready. It's going to be very, very hard for DeMuSLiM to break into the base of Naniwa. We do see now that these siege tanks are in production as well as siege techs, so once these are in, and it doesn't look like Naniwa has anything to scout the high ground. He is getting a warp prism, but I'm not sure that's going to be effective enough. We do see now Naniwa is moving out with this force. Just have a look around. Oh, he does have this observer here, sorry. And this first siege tank is finished. Weapons level 1 now going up for Naniwa, as well as another pylon. Now, just make sure he doesn't get Psylocked. We do see now 2 more reactors going down for DeMuSLiM, as well as a lot of missile turrets here to fend off any kind of warp prism skulldaggery in the base of himself. And we do see Naniwa now breaking down these rocks in order to be able to take this expansion. However, siege mode is now finished for DeMuSLiM, so I imagine he's going to be raining hell down on this expansion, and he has nothing to scout the high ground over here, so that's going to be really bad for Naniwa as these units do move along. And we do see a drop now coming along, so these units have baiting these units whilst the drop does come along, so these units have now moved back, and we do see now that this drop could do a lot of damage if he does move in. And these, fantastic warping in of these zealots here right at the nick of time, although they're not going to be enough. Oh, high Templar storming these units and doing a lot of damage, massive damage there. Another zealot warping in, but going to be no use at all. These units need to move back in order to be able to help out this position. Now focusing the assimilator. I think they should be focusing something else at this point. Now 2 more high Templars warping in, and all these units coming to help. Although these units are coming in for a bit of a pick at the pylons